Alright, just like Ritual, Update 6 Tier List Part 1, let's go. Okay, so before we get started, I just wanted to say that some of these units are from the other updates just because I didn't do a tier list for that, and honestly I was kind of busy with some things, but here we are. We're gonna start from the Fairy Tail event onto the raid and then onto update 6 part 1. So let me go ahead and start with, you know, the event ones. We got the Valkyrie or Urza, and then we also have GHOUL. So first of all, I'm gonna put GHOUL down. GHOUL honestly really meta. So broken, really broken as a heal unit. Does around like 60,000 damage with a decently low SPA for the amount of AoE he has as well. And he's a hybrid, so you gotta count that. So he's kind of like, in my opinion, a better Miriam in terms of damage. He is a little bit more expensive, but that damage in AoE really makes up for it. He's just nuts. And honestly, at this point, I don't really care about organizing them. I'm just gonna place them right here. But yeah, just know that from now on, I'm just not gonna organize it. I'm just gonna say which ones are in that area and then leave it just like that, so you guys can have your own opinion. But after that, we have the 3 Urzas. First of all, we have Valkyrie. Valkyrie is definitely meta. She's meta as a ground unit just because, well, of course, this is the ground version. She has 50% crit and does like 40,000 or 50,000. So multiply that by 2 with the crit. That's like going into the hundreds of thousands every like 9 seconds with a massive AoE. And it's multi-hit. It's multi-hit. So if you, even though she's a bit expensive, just like these other new units, the damage, the AoE, and the crit is just scaling so hard. It's just scaling like crazy for these updates. And honestly, they should tone it down a little bit. But if they're gonna keep going like this, the next time we're gonna get an update, then a new unit's literally gonna have 100,000 damage every 5 seconds. Like that's not even a joke. It's gonna happen. But yeah, Urza definitely in the top just because this specifically alone is a great ground. Now for the hill one, which is the electricity Urza or lightning Urza, definitely meta as a hill unit. She's very easy to upgrade. Does a ton of damage. It's like just a hill version of this. I don't think she has the crit, but she's a hill version and she does a bunch of damage. So if you need a hill unit, this one's good to go for. But it is a 1 in 3 chance between, you know, the 3 Urzas. Still though, very good heal unit, does a ton of damage. I think it's a lower SPA if I'm wrong. But even if not, still has big AoE, good damage, and it's a hill. You know, you can't really go wrong with the hill unit. And then finally, we have the True Heart one, or whatever the hell it's called. This one bleeds. This one's great as a support unit, and it's still meta. Great damage, great bleed, good for healing units that, you know, the ones that automatically heal and all of that. So all the 3 Urzas I recommend getting. All of them are good, but honestly, I recommend getting these 2 out of the most, unless you need a bleed unit or some sort of type of damage that could take down the bleeds over time or the heals over time. But these ones are definitely the ones you want to aim for. Still though, all 3 are really nice. Now moving on to the raid. So the raid, Trunks, Trunks is good. They're still very good, still very great. I don't think they're that meta. I think Cell is meta in terms of hill. I'll start with Cell. Cell is definitely a meta hill. I don't think he's a hybrid. You could put him on the hill, has a fat AoE, good damage as well, and even though he's a little bit harder to, you know, get, at least he's free. You know, at least he's free to get. Definitely a good heal unit, and just overall great damage. Compared to Trunks, Trunks has that AoE, but I don't think he has any special abilities. I don't really look into it. I don't know if they buffed him or anything like that, but if they still haven't buffed him, then I'll put him at S. I don't think he's meta though, since over time more units will out damage him. Still, he has full AoE, decent damage, and a pretty low SPA as well, but the range isn't as good. Like, not really comparable to Broly. I think it's around 20 to 30, so that's still decently big, but I don't think it's good enough to be in the meta area. Now for unit update 6 part 1, they don't have the icons for this tier list since they haven't updated it yet, since, you know, it came out a couple days ago. But let me go ahead and start off with Gocho. So Gocho, you can't tell me that he's not meta. If he's not meta, then I'll twist my balls. But literally, this man is crazy. He has the full line AoE, similar to Stark, my bad. And I don't think he has as much range, but still very thick, very wide, very juicy, very long. Still a ton of damage. I believe it goes into the 40,000 range, 50,000 range, and it keeps on going with his ability Unlimited or Infinity. I don't know which one it was called again. I literally have bad memory, sorry. School's getting to me, but still, his unique ability with that infinite upgrades with the eyes, really broken. Plus, he gets a global time stop for like 9 seconds, and he gets 100% damage boost along with it. The cooldown for the move, although it's around like a minute or so, very long for moves, still, it's still great. You can place 3 of these guys down, and you can just keep time stopping. They get a ton of damage, and overall, just an amazing unit. I'm definitely liking these new unique mechanics they're adding. Now for Itadori, if I put Itadori, I'll put him in I don't know, A tier, S tier. Definitely better than some of these units, but I don't think he's gonna be an S. I could definitely see him being an A for now, at least. The damage around like 17,000 every 5 to 6 seconds, which is not too bad, but yeah, no evolution, no nothing like that, so I can't really comment. But I did say before that update 2 will definitely have a Sukuna evolution for him. Definitely. If they don't, missed opportunity. But for right now, I'll put him in A. I'll put him in A tier, top of A tier. Now for Megumi. So Megumi, I was honestly surprised and disappointed at the same time. So surprised because he does a curse effect, or basically similar to like Blackbeard, where it gives them a 15% defense reduction, so you do more damage. And I was kind of disappointed because he doesn't summon wolves to attack. Although it might be similar to Coyote. He could summon snakes, he could summon owls, he could summon all that. I wish he did. That would have been so cool if they added that. He'd be even more meta, but the way he is right now, definitely meta as a support. Get that giant AoE with the nice curse, and he's multi-hit too, so just in case you don't hit what unit with the curse, since they're just walking in, you'll hit him again, since it's multi-hit. And yeah, it just makes up for it. Still though, a very unique unit. I'm liking all these new guys that are coming through, and Megumi, meta, most definitely. Now for Nanami Kento. This guy, honestly, one of my favorite Jujutsu Kaisen characters in the whole entire anime. Since he has that swag and that drip when he fights. Oh, that cleaver and his moves, the ratio technique just goes crazy. But that's outside of the anime. In this game, he's still really broken. I think he's top like 1 or 2 most broken ground units in the game because of his ability called Overtime. Basically, Overtime, 1% damage every other wave, and that scales by a ton. Imagine, let's say, I believe his damage is around 40 to 30,000. Let's say around 35,000. All right, 35,000 scaled up by 1%. That's what, 350? 350. Now add 350 to that, and then you scale it with another 1%. So you have to factor in that amount of damage that just got added. And I believe in the span of like 9 waves, you get 9,000 damage, unless my math is wrong or somebody told me that at least. I do have him now, so I'm gonna test it out. But Nanami, so nice to use, an amazing ground unit. His ability just goes hard, alongside with a decently big AoE with a ton of damage and low SPA as well. So I'm very surprised with this unit, but of course it is a secret in a limited time, so at the same time I wasn't too surprised. And then finally, in the legendary side of things, I have Toge. So Toge, I was really surprised about this one. He has the size AoE of like what, Nanami or something like that. I could definitely, it's a big circle, but that's not what like makes him good. What makes him good is his ability to stun. His stun ability honestly really surprised me. I wasn't really, you know, thinking there's gonna be all that, but from his character in the anime, which is the guy that speaks and makes them do things once he does speak, I was thinking he might be able to like make them fight. That would be an amazing mechanic if they did. But still though, the stun with a massive AoE as a legendary, that's clean. That's clean. It might be better than Dio to place down because he is cheaper and he has a fatter AoE. So yeah, Toge is definitely a meta mythic. But that's it for me. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Tell me your rankings. I'll leave the list down there as well. But before I end it here, here's my tier list of all these new units in terms of their roles: meta ground, there, meta air, meta support, meta legendary, A, B, C, the ones that are good. And this is just generally story mode, infinite, challenge, etc. I just factored it in, and yeah, that's it.